Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Man-Thing, starring Matthew Lee Navies, Rachel Taylor, Jack Thompson, Warari Paratini, forgive me if I said that wrong, Alex O'Loughlin, Steve Bastoni, Robert Mamoni, and Patrick Thompson, and directed by Brett Leonard. And if I said your names wrong, please forgive me. Now, before I get into this movie, I've never heard too much about this movie in general until I found out about it one day as that it was based on a Marvel comic book. Now, what did I think of it? Let's get into it. A couple named Billy and Sarah having sex for nudity's sake because this is an R-rated movie based on a comic book, but feels like a slasher Friday the 13th movie, and as soon as Sarah sees something in the trees, like, are we in a horror movie or a slasher movie or in a comic book movie? Because this is a slasher movie cliche. Now, new sheriff of a town called Bywater, named Sheriff Kyle Williams, played by Matthew Lenavies, and Deputy Eric Fraser are introduced 7 minutes into the movie, and Sheriff Williams gets to learn about a citizen troublemaker named Rene LaRoque, who is a man, by the way, not a woman, if anybody gets confused by that. But the three characters, starting with Sheriff Williams, is a terrible protagonist, Fraser is a horrible sidekick, and Rene LaRoque is a pretentious hide-or-go-seek character. We also get introduced to a third grade teacher named Terry, played by Rachel Taylor, who was in one other movie I reviewed before in a TV show. And the movie I reviewed her in was a Transformers movie. The first one, let me say. And the second thing I saw her in was that TV show from Netflix called Jessica Jones, where she played Kristen Ritter's sister, and in Transformers, she was the hacker for America. But here she's pretentious as the sheriff's first arrest / friend / lover, maybe? And he makes... And a character is not a very good character either. But the best I thought she did was Jessica Jones, in just my professional opinion. We meet her again, as well as a friend named Pete Horn, who is a sugar addict. Was a laugh-out-loud hilarious moment. Poog and his dogs almost feels like I'm in a horror movie, and we get introduced to Wayne and Rodney, who are brothers that are two of the biggest idiots in the entire fucking movie. I'm just gonna put it out there, guys. This is a mess. The scene where Rodney grabs the machine gunner, shoots at something in the trees, reminded me of Predator, where Arnold and his Death Squad team shoot the trees in half. And at that moment of this movie, it's probably second place hilarious, whereas the first place I'll talk about when I get to Predator at some point in time. When Sheriff Williams meets the ex-sheriff because he went missing for a month and now he's dead, was a pretty bad for a death in this movie, in my personal opinion. When Ronnie goes aside from the swamp and takes a dump, and suddenly he starts slipping in the mud in his own shit, was just funny in an awkward kind of way. I should probably put it out there. The death is not very memorable for a slasher movie based on a comic book, because it's just pretentious. The scene at the end of the movie, and I'm going to jump there now because this is kind of a boring film. The scene at the end of the movie when Sheriff Williams gets shot by Jake just so he can kill Rene LaRoque, and the Man-Thing kills off Jake, is not really the best way to end the movie, especially when the Man-Thing is one ugly son of a bitch. Well, yeah, he's just ugly. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give the movie a 4.2 out of 10. The acting is in this thing is horrible. And I don't understand this plot. Like, are we in a slasher movie or a comic book film? This movie is a mess. Like I said in the beginning of the show, it's a mess. So, I'll be back next week with Kick-Ass. And until next time, it's the thing, man. It's the man thing.